this is the council's first time in China. News used to be so hard to get out of here. What's what is the significance of having this conference here?
Well, of course, tall buildings are prolific throughout Asia. Shanghai, in particular, has been a focus for 20 plus years of building big and tall and extraordinary. And it's maybe overdue that we're here. My first introduction to Asia was actually through the Council on Tall Buildings in 1990 at the Hong Kong Congress. And Hong Kong at that time was growing like wild. The growth has shifted to the mainland, to Shanghai, to Nanjing, to Dalian, some of the other outlying cities. And so it's only fitting that we're here now. Maybe we should have been here 5 or 10 years earlier. But happy to be here now for sure, and see what's been accomplished, and then from that maybe learn some lessons about what we might be looking for in the future.
What is the benefit of finally having China in our group internationally, or just for the membership? What are the advantages of our having a presence here?
Well, sheer numbers for one. There's so many buildings and so many professionals and construction companies in China that are building these tall buildings, and from that we can learn from some of the successes and from some of the not so successes. But just by sheer numbers of tries, if you will, there's lots of lessons to be learned about what's been successful and what hasn't. One of the things that has been most striking to me in the 20 some odd years I've been coming to Shanghai, as well as a lot of the comments that have been made in this conference, is that for one, there's been this kind of almost homogeneity that has developed, and a loss of sense of place. Meaning, as I walk around Pudong, there's these fantastic buildings, but they're all very singular, and they're actually all quite distant from one another. In many regards, it's maybe a bad analogy, but it's a lot like Las Vegas. There's these iconic buildings and iconic casinos that are a mile apart. And it's hard for a pedestrian to go from one to the next to the next. And so the sense of city is lost at the pedestrian level. And there's been numerous comments about this in the Congress over the last 3 days. And somehow regaining that, I think, is going to be an important challenge in the future. Just leaving the hotel here, Jin Mao Tower, to get in a taxi and kind of move into the transit corridor, getting to where I'm going, it takes 15 or 20 minutes just to get on the road, because we have to loop around and take very circuitous routes, similar for a pedestrian. If you want to go to the Pearl Tower, for instance, while it's a very short distance, the route is not very easy for a pedestrian. And along the way, it's not very friendly. And so these are some challenges that I think we're experiencing now that all this has been built. And the Congress has highlighted this. Numerous comments have been made by planners and architects that this is their observation.
Well, the council is tall buildings and its urban habitat, number one, and ultimately the council is its members. So what added value are the members getting from being here and from having communication with this part of the world?
Well, something that I guess that I'd say that has evolved with the council over the last 20 years, and I think is a great direction, is the fact that the diversity of membership has expanded. The council used to be dominated by a lot of structural engineers, and we'd come to these congresses, and many of the sessions were focused on the latest and greatest beam design or the latest and greatest structural calculation. What we saw in this Congress is a really broad diversity of topics and a lot of participation by the various disciplines and interested parties, architects, engineers, developers, contractors, which was the mission of the council, is to integrate all of these various interested parties and have this dialogue ensue. And it's been something the council has been striving for decades, and I think in this Congress was realized, which was, to me, very satisfying to see that. I think that the CTBUH staff and Anthony Wood as director and Tim Johnson as chair have done an outstanding job in bringing the council to that milestone of achievement. So I'm very, very pleased to see that.
Well, and now the chairman is an architect, is actually an architect. That's pretty radical.
Yeah, that was a good leap that we made, because the last several chairs, 4, 5, 6 in a row that I can recall, were all structural engineers. And so to have an architect at the helm certainly adds to that mission and helps drive things to kind of the next level, which, again, is very satisfying because the dialogue is more rich.
And, you know, it's come a long way, and we're a long way from home in Shanghai, China. It's been a fascinating week, and thanks for coming by to see us.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Always good to see you as well.
Bless you, sir.
See you again next year.
Yep, we'll be here.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.